This is the big one, folks. I This is the first time I've used the table as the backdrop. This is the first time I've used the table instead of a bed. And I just, when I started recording, had a vague recollection of a joke in the script I wrote a month ago for this video about the fact that I'm filming on the bed. So RIP when we come to that. RIP when we come to that, but we'll get there. Last issue, which I think altogether clocked in at like over 40 minutes, so I split it into 3 parts. And didn't even post, I don't think I posted any of them to the videos subreddit, which is usually what I do with these videos and no one watches them anyway there. But the third part, I didn't even watch it. I mean, I watched it editing it, obviously, but I realized a few weeks after that it literally said no views. And I was like, we're thriving. We're thriving. This is why we do it. We don't do it for the views. We do it for the money. And oh boy, is it coming in. Oh boy, is it coming in. Let me just go. You know what? I'm gonna show you the cash. I'm gonna show you the cash. Is that crazy? I'm gonna show you the cash I got for that. 1 second. Hey, can I borrow your wallet? Can I borrow your wallet? It's for a video. What? No, I'm not gonna steal it. When have I ever stolen your wallet? Oh, 3 times. Three times, ladies and gentlemen, I've stolen his wallet, and he's gonna say no. He's gonna say no the 4th time. You need to. God, man, you need to. You know what the problem is. Honestly, I don't want to say this, but you shouldn't have that many wallets to begin with. Your room is literally filled with wallets. Your bed is made of wallets. You think I'm not gonna go in there and snatch a couple? 3 of them didn't even have money. They just had pictures of other wallets. You're obsessed. You're obsessed, man. Issue 7. As we all remember from watching the last issue, which we all did, including myself, I definitely did that. Issue 6, the title was just Lazy Alliteration Meets the Furious Fisherman. Almost as if I came up with the title before I came up with the actual story. He's a fisherman and he's furious. That's good stuff. So I'm really hoping we've ditched the lazy alliteration crutch for issue 7. We've got a little more the Battle of the Big Bad Bionic Bin Bags. Okay. Bionic 2. Bionic bin bags? Is that even true? What does bionic even mean? Just like robots and shit? What's the definition of bionic? Having or denoting an artificial, typically electromechanical body part or parts, or just relating to bionics. So I guess neither of those are true. The title isn't even... I just wanted another B in there. I needed another B. We needed a B! We needed a B! I feel like I never really talk about the covers much of these issues. And, I look at this one and I realize why. Because there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. I mean, it's fairly creative. We have the main character in the middle. And then the villains are also there. And it's pretty good. You can't really get much... I can't think of anything else I could have done. You assume the bin is in the foreground from first glance, but then you look a little closer and the bin bag is overlapping the bin. And geez Louise, I was in I don't know what kind of mental state I must have been in when I wrote this script, because I literally wrote a joke where I say everything you thought you knew about where the bin bag was situated on this cover is thrown in the cupboard. I really wrote that down. May you pass the jam, please, dearest. Oh, Alfred, I can't read words. You know what I told you about telling, oh, Alfred, what I told you, what I told you about calling this in public? No one else does it. That's actually kind of funny. That's a joke. I think that's a joke. No one else calls me dearest because, you know, why, you know. Victoria screams because of a smell, which seems like an overreaction somewhat. And Alfred tells her that if she doesn't like the smell, they shouldn't have come to the picnic anyway. How does that make sense? If you don't like the smell of that bin, which we wouldn't know existed before we left, then we shouldn't have left, Victoria, you dumbass. You dumbass. How does that make sense? I drew the bin full, and that's why it smelled bad. And then in the next panel, you see him throw something in, and it still smells bad, but the garbage doesn't, you don't see it in the bin. And then there's nothing there. Did it like jump out? Even though the bin bag, spoilers by the way, the bin bags are alive. We'll get to that. Did the bin bag jump out of the bin? But he's right there though. How did he not see that? He says he can complain to the park keeper that there's no bin bag in the bin because he's a Karen. And a voice tells him that it's not the park keeper's fault. And the voice belongs to this man. And there's lightning. Very clear lightning, even though I think this is the middle of the day. I like the rain. It's like obviously horrendous, but at least it's an artistic choice. That I can appreciate because everything else just kind of looks like worse The Simpsons. So the stranger explains that bin bags have always been alive, and only now they've decided to strike. Okay. All right. So bin bags. Okay. All bin bags. He says the bin bags have always been alive. The bin bags. Is he referring to a specific group of bad egg bin bags? Maybe the bin bags in the immediate surrounding area, maybe just in that park. It must be that. It must be that. For reasons that will become clear shortly, it surely must be that. We'll assume it's that now. For the benefit of my sanity, we'll assume it's that. But even with that assumption, why just those bin bags? Why are they alive? How are they alive? I know it looks like he's going to give a lot of exposition, and he is, but none of those questions will be answered at all. We don't know why they're alive. I mean, the answer to why they're alive, I guess we do have an answer, is they've always been alive. They've just been playing dead this whole time, since bin bags were invented? How does that work? Is it like Toy Story? Is it just it's just Toy Story? Oh, I think it's just Toy Story. Okay, it's Toy Story. All right. I think I eventually did try like more interesting concepts. Probably none of them original, but more interesting concepts as I got older and as I continue with the series. But it's gonna get worse before it gets better because the next issue is Cheesy Chum and the Scary Staplers. An interesting thing that he mentions is that an hour ago, the bin bags were fine. Not just fine, they were happy. So this is interesting, because what does that mean? The bin bags were happy? What does that mean? Why were they happy? Because they were, like, fulfilling what they thought their only purpose in life was? Which was to swallow garbage and just sit there and do that and nothing else? Is this a metaphor? It's definitely not a metaphor. Whatever it is, I don't want any part of it. But then he explains that their happiness ceased when a man called Mr. Mister took out the trash. It could have been literally anyone that did this. There's no reason it had to be Mr. Mister, but he's a name we know. One of the few names we know. So it just had to be him. I can't even get into why I hate that so much. So he says he took out the trash, and then Alfred or whatever his fucking name is, he says, "What do you mean he actually fought them?" And the Scottish man says, no, he did actually take out the trash. I feel like that could have been funny if it wasn't so like obvious. Because, and also like why I know what I was going for, but why as the joke, it's really a stretch to as the joke that like why would he assume, why would he say, what do you mean he actually fallen? They're talking about like bin bags. So obviously he meant took out the trash literally. So why would he assume that he means that Mr. Mister fought the bin bags? Is that the joke? I don't know. It could be. It's not though.